Hello, my first graders. Today I'm here to talk to you about something called contractions. So, contractions are where we take two words and we put them together to make a new shorter word. Okay, and we do that by adding something called an apostrophe. Now, you know what a comma is, right? We've done commas where the comma is on the line, right? The little curved line. Well, an apostrophe looks pretty much the same. It's just in the air. And when we put that apostrophe in contractions, it takes the place of some of the letters. So I'm going to go over that and show you what that looks like. So there's two that we're going to focus on today. The first one is the contraction using not. So we have was not, cannot, do not, right? But we don't always say she was not here, right? Sometimes we say she wasn't here. If I said she wasn't here, that's the same as saying she was not here. Okay, wasn't is just a shorter form of was not. Sometimes most of you don't say, I cannot do it. Most of you go, I can't do it, right? Can't is the same thing as cannot. It's just a shortened form. Same thing. Most of you go, don't say, I do not know that. Instead, you say, I don't know that, right? Don't is a shortened form of do not. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So when we have the word not, okay, with another word, we can take and get rid of the O. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that O. And instead of that O, I'm going to put an apostrophe in. And then I'm going to scoop my letters together. So we have our root word, which was, and then we're going to change not. Okay, we get rid of the O. Now we're going to scoot it together and look at the new word that we have. Ready? We keep the word was. Keep the word was, right? That was our root word. But then not. We scoot the N over. We have the apostrophe. And then what's the last letter? T. Okay, so was not becomes wasn't. Okay, W-A-S, you still have the root word, wasn't. Okay, we get rid of the O. So whenever we have the not, it's the O that we can get rid of. Okay, or if you see it like this, right, in a book, you might be thinking, what is that? So think about it as was not, wasn't. Okay, that when you have the N apostrophe T, it means that we had the word not, and that's what we got rid of. So look at this one, cannot. This one's a little different because we have, see the two N's? So when we have the two N's, we don't need to keep both of them, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to always keep the word, the base word, okay, our first word, can, and then we already have an N there, so we're actually going to get rid of the O and the T and put our apostrophe in. So when we scoot that together, right, we keep our first word, can, right, that's our first word. We got rid of the N and the O, so we need the apostrophe, shows something's missing, and then our T. Can't. So if I cannot do it, I can't do it. Okay? So can't means I cannot. Sometimes it helps us to think about those in a sentence too. I can't, if you look at the word can't, you think, okay, how could I say it? I can't do it. Or I cannot do it. Put it in a sentence that helps you understand it a little bit better. All right, do not. So again, what do we always keep? Do we keep the first part or the second part? We keep the first part. So we keep the first part, do, and then look what we're going to do. Right, back to this. There's no N here, so we need to keep the N. And what letter are we going to get rid of? The O. Get rid of the O, and instead we put an apostrophe. So now we can rewrite it together to make that contraction. Do, right? That's our root word. And then we have the N apostrophe T. Do not becomes don't. Okay, do not do that. Don't do that. We use don't all the time when we're talking. Don't. Right. I also want to show you it the opposite way. What if I had a contraction and we had to look at it and know, well, what does that mean? So let's try, let's look at this one and see if we can take what we know about breaking it apart. Okay, there's a contraction. How can I take that and break it apart into two words? So this is hasn't. So let's look at that. Do you see a word at the beginning? Remember, we always keep the word at the beginning. H-A, no, not a word, right? Has, that's a word, right? So look, when we are separating it, we see that beginning word, has. Okay, N apostrophe T. What is that word that it stands for? Right? Because we got rid of a letter. What letter did we get rid of? O. So instead we have N-O-T. Has not. Hasn't means has not. He hasn't come in yet. He has not come in yet. Okay, whenever we see that N apostrophe T, it's standing for the word not. We just got rid of the O. Let's try another one. Isn't. Apostrophe. Isn't. Let's see. Do you see this? Isn't. He isn't here. Do you see a little word at the beginning? Look through. I know. Oh, is. Here's the word is. And then N apostrophe T. What does that stand for? Is not. He isn't here. He is not here. So that stands for not. Then, let's do one more. A little longer. All right. Doesn't. Do you hear the, you almost can hear that little word in there. What's the beginning word in doesn't? Put this down a little bit so you can. Does, right? Because then once we see the N apostrophe T, we know that's not. So I can even cover that up. Does not. Doesn't means does not. Does not. Okay, so my first graders, what I hope you got from this, right, is when we have a contraction for the word not, the O, we get rid of the O and put that apostrophe in. Okay, so we're going to do some practice with that. On this side, we're going to look at another type of contraction. Let me just kind of cover this up so you can focus on this other side. So on this side, instead of not, we're going to talk about is and us. Okay, so we have let us. Whenever we have us, we are going to get rid of the U. Okay, do you notice we almost always keep the end letter, right? So we're going to get rid of that beginning. So instead of let us, we say let's. L-E-T, that base word, right? Let apostrophe S. Let us, let's. She is. All right, you know we always keep that beginning word. What do you think we're going to get rid of in the word is? Yeah, that I. We always keep that last letter, so we get rid of that I. So instead of she is, we would say Here's our root word, apostrophe S. She's. She is coming. She's coming. How about this one? Where is? Where is? We always keep our root word. What are we going to get rid of in the word is? Yeah, the I, apostrophe S. So let me see if I can scoot this in. Instead of where is, well, at least it's a contraction, right? So it's smaller. Look at that. Where's? Where is my favorite blanket? Where's my favorite blanket? Okay, where is, where's. All right, now we're going to do it the opposite way like we did on this side. So I'm going to give you a contraction and we're going to see if we can separate it. So what if I said he's? He's coming over. He's coming over. What word do you see in this word he's? Do you see that little word that stands out? Yeah, first word, right? We always have that first word. He. So he's coming over. He. What do you think that stands for? Is it he, us? No. He is. He is coming over. He's. He is. Most of the time it's is. Let's look at one more. See if you can find the words. All right. It's cold outside. It's. What's the base word that we're going to keep? It. All right. And then we have an apostrophe S. What letter do you think is missing? Yeah, the I. Instead of it, it's, it is. It is cold outside. Okay, so remember, when you see an apostrophe S, most of the time, the apostrophe S, the apostrophe is taking the place of the letter I. Instead of it is, it's. Instead of he is, he's. Instead of where is, where's. She is, she's. All right, boys and girls, you're going to do some practice with contractions today.